Okay, so according to TMZ, Wendy Williams does not have frontotemporal dementia. She does not have it. All right. Apparently, she was examined by a top neurologist, and they said that she doesn't have that. What I want to know is what she does have. Okay, because she definitely has something. There's something going on there. Now, she has a new lawyer now that she's been, represented by for maybe a good few months now, maybe about a past 6 months or so, right? Maybe give or take. And this is Joe Tacopina. He's a high profile attorney, a very, very good attorney. And I think it's important for her to have that type of legal representation because she's definitely being taken advantage of. I will say that. Okay. So this type of a headline is very, very important. But unfortunately, like I said, there's definitely something wrong with her. The person who, you know, said that she doesn't have this, what did they say that she has? Right? You know, I like Wendy Williams. I like Wendy Williams. And obviously I don't agree with everything she said and done throughout the years, but I wish the best for her, okay? However, I'm not going to try to pretend like there isn't an issue there, right? I never believed that she had FTD. Let's just call it that for short. I never believed that she had that. Never. I always believed that her situation with her, her cognitive issues were a direct result of the alcohol. And I also believed that if she didn't drink, then she wouldn't have that issue with the alcohol. That's what I've always believed. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The reason I believe that is because when she was with her son, okay, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a video floating around that her son, put out there and stuff like that, where she was walking on the beach and, her son, if I'm not mistaken, is vegan. So, he just doesn't drink or anything like that. And he takes care of himself. He works out, he takes that sort of thing very, very seriously, which is great. And so she was with him, and she sounded fine. Like, when you hear her talk nowadays, she doesn't, there's something off. But those times that I saw her with her son, she sounded great. Okay. There was one time she was walking on the beach, she sounded fine. There was another time where she was in bed and he, was talking to her, and she sounded fine. She sounded clear and fine the way I sound right now. Okay. And she was not drinking at that time. I truly believe this. Okay. And you guys can let me know in the comments what you think. But what I believe is the people who are around her, I don't think that she is, has stopped drinking now. I think she's back drinking. Is she drinking as heavily as she was before? No. But I believe that the people who are around her, okay, allow her to drink because they know that whatever she's suffering from is either caused or exacerbated by alcohol. That's what I believe. Okay. Um, I could be wrong, but I don't trust that woman, Sabrina Morrissey. I don't trust her. I don't trust any of those people attached to the conservatorship. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust the judge. I don't trust the lawyers. I don't trust the guardian. I don't trust any of them. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, I'm going to finish this. The fact that there was a physician, okay, allegedly, who examined her, and this is supposed to be a top neurologist, okay? So this person examined her. If all of this is true, this person examined her and found out that she does not have this. What the fuck? That is crazy. That's crazy, okay? Now, even if she does have something, which I think she does, you know, the guardian people, because the Joe Tacopina, this is her lawyer, he wants, everything to he wants like a new trial. He wants, or however you, what, a hearing or whatever. He wants, you know, everything to be, revisited, okay, all over again. The guardianship, the people who are affiliated with the guardianship, right? They can't turn around now, even if she does have something, okay? They can't turn around now and say, oh, well, she doesn't have this, but she has that. No, you motherfuckers were the ones who said she had FTD. You guys said that, okay? And I always thought it was like really, really suspect that we never heard from an actual physician. Like there was no press conference. This physician wasn't interviewed by like, Good Morning America or some shit. Wendy Williams is a public figure. You know how we found out about that diagnosis? Through Sabrina Morrissey. Okay? Right around the time of the documentary. That seemed really suspect to me. This was also not too far from the time we found out about Bruce Willis and his situation. Okay? I just feel like we found out about these things in a very strategic way. I don't trust anyone that has anything to do with the, the guardian people. I don't trust any of those people. Okay. Now, do I trust her husband? No, of course not. Right. Some people have said things about the son. To that I say, her son was born into wealth and privilege. Okay. He had Wendy Williams as a mother. Wendy Williams gave her son everything. Okay. So, if we find out that her son spent a lot of money on Uber or something, like whatever the hell the allegations were, and used up her American Express or something like that, like, your son or daughter spending your credit card money on your Discover or whatever you have, your Amex or whatever, on Uber is not the same as her son doing that. Okay. So keep that in mind, because that was also something that people pointed to, like, yeah, somebody does need to step in and take control over her money because these people are using her. I don't know about that. Okay. I believe that, anytime there's a lot of money involved, there are going to be bad actors. But do I believe that the guardianship people have her best interest at heart? Hell to the no. Absolutely not. So again, you guys can go in the comments and just let me know what you think. Just let me know what you think. I'm glad that she doesn't have this. Okay, if this TMZ article is accurate, I'm glad that she doesn't have this. But I also want to know, I want the full report. Okay, I want to know, everything that they did find, if anything. Okay, so that's just my thoughts.